Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to the Minecraft Survival Guide. I hope you guys are having a good day. We are back here in the 1.14 Village and Pillage update here in Minecraft Java Edition, and today I'm going to give you an overview of some of the other features that have come to the game. We took a look at villager workstations in the last episode and opened this world up in 1.14 for the first time. If you have missed that at all, please go back and watch that video. It's probably a good idea to get in on the ground floor with some of these new features and give them a look, especially if you're working with an existing world. But for this episode, yes, we are going to be traveling a little bit further afield. We're actually just going to be going past Brimstone Castle here out to the Taiga biome on the opposite side. The Taiga biome has actually received a bit of an update in this version of Minecraft thanks to a vote that took place at this year's Minecon. Players were asked to vote on which of three biomes of the Savannah, Taiga, and Desert needed a bit of an update, and the players chose the Taiga. So there are a few features that were basically teased at Minecon which are now present in the game, and I'm going to take you through a few of those if we can find them. Now, of course, this is a Taiga that has been partly generated before, and I think we'll have to go a little bit further into the Taiga this way to find some of the new features. But one of the first things I'm going to do is take down one of these spruce trees. Let me pillar up and get the tops of these. I hate that they're not quite close enough for us to get from the ground. And I'm going to make myself a fresh crafting table, and we're going to craft one of the new features here and now. Because if you have 3 logs, 3 sticks, and a piece of coal, you can arrange them in this formation like so, and you get yourself a campfire. Campfires are a new light source that's been added to Minecraft for this update. They can be placed out here in the wild, and they can even be used to cook meat. You can actually cook meat on these in much the same way that you could cook something on a furnace, except it doesn't have an interface like a furnace does. It doesn't have a GUI. Instead, you can actually place meat on it and kind of roleplay, I suppose, that you are out here camping in the wild, cooking stuff around a fire. Let me see if there's anything other than a creeper. I don't think there's particularly good eating on these creepers. Let me see if there's any animals around here we can get meat from. Any sheep, any pigs, chickens, that kind of thing. I did notice a chicken a little while ago, but I have a feeling there will be some pigs roaming around this Taiga. Oh, there's a chicken there. We might as well, swoop down and get the chicken from you. Did we get 3 chicken from 1 chicken just then? That seems unlikely to me. Looks like there's a couple of pigs through the trees over here. Fantastic. We can swoop down on this one and give it the chop, and it can give us the chop. We have 2 raw pork chops. Fantastic. Let's take those back to the campfire, and as you can see from the recipe thing popping up there, indicating that this can be cooked in the smoker or the campfire, let's go and put this back on the campfire and see if we can cook it up. Let's see if we can spot the smoke signals coming from the campfire as well, because they actually let off smoke in quite a high column, and if you put a hay bale underneath them, the column gets even higher. So these are actually really great as detail blocks for chimneys on, rustic builds and stuff like that. Where did we put the... Yes, there it is. I can see the smoke coming up through the trees. It might even be being blocked by those leaf blocks above it, but that's fantastic. It's nice and easy to see from a distance. You could even use this to navigate. If you wanted to put down a campfire in a place where the smoke column would rise up, you might be able to see it from a distance. So let's place the chicken around the campfire like so. Yep, there you go. The items actually appear next to the campfire in the world. That's really cool looking, and you can cook up to 4 food items at a time this way, although it will take a little while for them to cook thoroughly. In the meantime, you'll want to be wary of stepping on your campfire because it won't actually set you on fire, but you are still going to take fire damage. Now, I'm not certain if wearing Frostwalker boots or perhaps having a fire resistance potion will give you immunity from that kind of damage. That might be something that is worth testing. But look, there we go. Once the items are done cooking, they will just pop off the campfire and then straight into your inventory if you're standing close by. And these things really add some life to the environment. They'll add some atmosphere, and it would be great to make a few outdoor campsites in future using these. But for now, I'm going to pack up the campfire, which I presume, yep, there we go, we can do that with an axe, and weirdly enough, you can carry a whole campfire around with you. You don't need to light it or anything, it is self-lighting. The miracles of modern technology. Alright, let's venture further into the Taiga, let's look a little deeper, because we have some stuff that I really want to find while I'm out here. Oh, looks like the wolves have been at some sheep, and we're seeing nature in action over here, folks. The sheep need to run. The wolves are after them. Oh, dear. Yep. I'm going to take the mutton. I may as well. Won't let that go to waste. Sorry, Wolfie, I don't have any bones for you today. But as the sun is now setting and the mobs are coming out, I really need to find a good place to start a campsite. So I think we might have to throw down the campfire in just a second or two, but I really think we should be able to find some of the new stuff around here somewhere. This is getting towards the edge of the area that I deleted when we deleted some chunks, so I'm fairly certain we'll find something relatively soon. If I hop over here, I don't see anything yet. Ooh, is that a lava flow over there? I saw something bright and orange. Yep, there is a serious lava flow coming down off of that mountain, but we're looking for some other bright and orange stuff in my search here because this update has added foxes to taiga biomes. Now, as you're seeing right now, the existing taiga biomes that you've already generated may not really spawn foxes all that much. In fact, I don't know if it's possible for them to spawn foxes at all unless they were present after the update. So I really wish that skeleton would go ahead and shoot the zombies, and then the zombies would attack in retaliation because, oh, I'm having a little bit of trouble with some of these mobs here. Gonna have to beat a hasty retreat, eat some chicken, and probably pop down a campfire. There is a beaut of a butte up here, so I think I'll probably head up to the top of this and pop down a campfire, and we'll see what we can see from above. Oh, that's nice, though. That lends a nice warm glow to the area. It's probably going to melt a lot of this snow, and yeah, let's see if we can put together a quick little campsite. Uh-oh, the campsite's being invaded. There's a couple of skeletons who are really trying to have a go right now. And I need to back off a little bit and eat some stuff while I'm setting this up. There we go. Ha! Get out of here. And there was another one over here somewhere, but I think he might have died to fall damage. Yep, I see some XP. Hopefully those zombies don't come too close either. Here we go. We've got a rudimentary little campsite around here that I can cook the mutton on the fire. And now I've set up this little shelter, which really isn't sheltering me from all that much, to be honest, aside from maybe phantoms if I needed to. But now we've set this up, I can demonstrate something that I wasn't really sure how I was going to cover in a future episode. You see this slab here? This is actually at the half block height in the second block up. So this is 1.5 blocks of air and a slab at the top here. Now previously, because the player is just under 2 blocks high, you couldn't really get underneath this. Even if you crouched, you couldn't. But you might have noticed since the update came around that when you crouch, you actually feel a little bit lower, and you can see underneath these slabs here, and you can actually now walk underneath slabs at a 1.5 block height. The player's crouch is actually that low. And now I've taken my hands completely off the mouse and keyboard, and I stay in this crouch animation. One of the other things that has changed about this update is that you stay in a crouched position even if you're underneath something, where previously, if you were crouched and then you came up into a space that you couldn't completely occupy, even if it didn't suffocate you in the block above, the player would just stand up and it looked like your head was just clipping through the block above you. That is no longer the case as of this update, which actually leads to a couple of interesting things you can do with Elytra or swimming, because both of those animations basically turn you into a 1 block high horizontal player instead of a 2 block high vertical player. And as a result, if you use Elytra to crawl like I've demonstrated previously, it is a little bit easier to enter crawling spaces because your animation isn't conflicting with that. And you stay in the flying animation or the crawling animation, the swimming animation that you had when you were swimming. And right now it's kind of difficult to see like this, but I mean, hello, my name is now Solid Snake. We are crawling around in the tunnels, and I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this still reduces your Elytra durability as you move around. It doesn't seem to, but I do have unbreaking on these Elytra, so it might just not be taking effect quite yet. But even so, the crawling in narrow spaces is now even better. You can actually do this pretty easily, and it's now possible to stay in a crawling animation. So there is speculation in the community that Mojang might be adding crawling as a feature to a future update. There is no, evidence to back this up. They haven't said as much or anything, but it might actually be something that gets added to the game in future, especially since you can now effectively crawl if you've swum into a space that's 1 block high or you have Elytra. I'm going to risk leaving my cozy campsite for a second because there is a third way you can do this that does not involve you swimming or flying at all. So let me grab a couple of logs from this spruce tree. May as well take down the rest of the tree as well. And I can show you the third way of doing this, which involves forcing the player into a 1-block high space using something that is actually a pretty common item. And that is a trapdoor. If you pop a trapdoor on a block like so, if it's on the top half of the block like that, so it flips upwards, I can come into this space, stand right next to this trapdoor, right-click on it, and it forces me down into this space. Now, of course, I am wearing my elytra right now, but if I take my elytra off, that is still possible. So if you want an easy entrance to a 1-block high base and you don't have wings, or you find the elytra activation thing gets a little bit inconsistent, give yourself a trapdoor. Just open a trapdoor on yourself like that and you can crawl into a space. It's going to really make some base building stuff quite interesting. If you want to put secret passages around your base, little rat holes that you can crawl into and find your way into other sections of a base, that is going to be a good way to do it. I actually really like this little hilltop campsite up here, so I'm going to leave this here and head back down into the taiga and continue my search for what I'm looking for. There we go. I think we've found one. I'm not going to approach it quite yet. I'm going to zoom in using the field of view because I really miss having the Optifine zoom. There is a fox up there in the trees. Oh, there's a couple of foxes, actually. Foxes are going to be quite timid in Minecraft. They are a little bit wary of players right now, and they won't necessarily trust you right away. But there are foods in the taiga now that foxes prefer, and we should hopefully be able to find one around here. But foxes are a brand new addition to taiga biomes. They will actually go after chickens. If you find them in taiga biomes, they will usually be chasing chickens. Yeah, it looks like these ones don't want to get too close. All right, well, we'll give them their space and see if we can find some food that they like, because the third thing that has been added to the taiga update is some sweet berry bushes, and we should be able to find sweet berries growing around here if this is the kind of terrain that will generate foxes. There we go, I found a couple. All right, let's grab some of these, and we can actually take these back to the base and plant them, because sweet berries will basically become seeds for sweet berry bushes if they are planted on grass. So this bush will now grow. I wonder if I can bone meal that. I haven't actually tested if you can. Oh, okay, yes, good. You can bone meal them. So the sweet berries will actually be harvestable. There we go. There are a couple of layers of berries that grow up in these bushes, so you can actually bone meal them a couple of times to get the berries. I think at stage 1 you only get 1 or 2, and at stage 2, like that, when they're nice and full of berries, then you actually get like 3 to 4. So there we go, been able to farm a couple nicely with the bones. Might as well get as many as we can at this point. I guess all you really need to do is stand nearby and bone meal them repeatedly like that. Just hold down the right mouse button and you'll be able to farm them. There's a couple up here as well. Perfect. Let's grab as many of these as we can. 36, not too bad. So sweet berries are, of course, a snack for the player as well. They don't actually restore all that much hunger. They're basically like a melon slice or a slice of dried kelp. But of course you can feed them to 2 adult foxes and that will breed them. And foxes seem to be quite similar to ocelots in that if you approach them too quickly, they are going to run away. So maybe best to approach slowly, cautiously if you can, and probably not to chase them too much if they don't want to be chased. See if we can sneak up on this one. They're quite wily. They're quite quick as well. They will run away from you a little bit. A lot of the time they are looking for spaces during the day to nap underneath a tree, which I think is what that one is doing now. Although, oh, there's a baby zombie coming after me. Probably not the best time to switch my FOV, although, yeah, that one just ate it in the sun. Fair enough. But what I was trying to show you a close-up of is that foxes are programmed to be nocturnal. So most of the time, if you find them out in the wild, you will find them sleeping during the day underneath the spruce trees of a taiga, like so. And foxes cannot be tamed, to my knowledge. It's not like wolves where if you tame them, they become dogs. Foxes can only be made to treat you a little bit less cautiously. Like if you breed 2 foxes with berries, the offspring will kind of trust you and will not run away from you all the time, but it still isn't really possible to breed them and tame them and have them follow you around or anything. They're not really meant to be pets. And right now this one is sleeping, but let's see if we can sneak up on it and give it a couple of berries. Hopefully we should be able to... Oh, it's got cautious. But maybe we can give it a berry or 2. There you go. Yum, yum, yum. Berries. Nope, it seems to have run off. It also seems to have something in its mouth that looks suspiciously like a chicken feather. Foxes have a chance to spawn with stuff in their mouths, but they can also pick up items that are left on the ground. So, oh, there's an emerald over there. Interesting. Yes, so foxes will go after chickens. They prefer to eat food, so they will always go after raw chicken if it's left around. But sometimes the fox has a chance to spawn with an emerald in its mouth. There you go. We saw one attack a chicken just then. There's a couple of adults there. Let's see if we can get close to them and see if they want to breed with these sweet berries. The kits are just adorable. Look at the tiny little ones. They're really, really cute. But yeah, it's going to be difficult to catch these foxes, so you'll probably not see too much of them if you're not exploring a brand new taiga. But still, your best bet is probably to come up here during the day and catch them sleeping under a tree like we did with that other one. I think we're probably not going to have too much luck with this today. Oh, looks like we might have an opportunity to breed two of them. Here we go. Yes, it looks like we bred them. Fantastic. Oh, one of them was sleeping and the other one was a little bit less timid. And this one could potentially be our friend. They're not going to run away from us too much, but I feel like they're probably going to follow the mother. So yeah, I rather think we're gonna lose sight of that fox pretty quickly. But that was fun. It's kind of fun chasing them around a little bit, but they will run away from you pretty quickly. So you might have to swoop in and seize opportunities like that where you can. But to wrap up this episode, I've returned to the campsite up here on top of the mountain to plant a couple of berry bushes and to talk a little bit more about what they can do, because it's worth noting that these will actually slow you down as you walk through them, and once they are grown a little bit more, I'm pretty sure they damage you with a thorns-like effect. If you walk through them, they are meant to be kind of prickly bushes, so probably best to avoid planting these in huge rows around your house if you don't want to be fighting your way through a thorny thicket every time you walk out of your front door, but it is worth having them around if you want to breed foxes, have snacks, or generally just add some nice environmental detail. Bushes like this are going to be really fun to have around. The previous bushes that we've been able to work with have been tree leaves or maybe ferns or something like that, so it's nice to have a little bit more greenery added into Minecraft, and functional greenery at that. Having grabbed a couple of bones from a nearby skeleton and grown these, you can, yep, there you go, you can get a little bit damaged by them. It's only a very small amount of damage, but you might want to avoid walking straight through them, and even if the bush is full of berries, it's still going to do that to you. So once they are grown beyond the very small stage, be wary of these things and don't walk through them for any longer than you have to. This could also be implemented in a really nice way for mob traps, potentially. If you can force zombies and stuff to walk through a huge thicket of these, they might be dead by the time they reach you. Not necessarily a mechanic you can count on, but something that might be worth exploring. But I think it's time for me to sit over here by the campfire, snack on some berries, and wrap up this episode. So thank you so much for watching the Minecraft Survival Guide. My name has been Pixlriffs. Don't forget to leave a like on this episode if you enjoyed it, subscribe if you want to see more, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye for now.